as you can see, we have the county fiscal strategy paper, but it is hidden. When you are opening the website, you will see it here under downloads. Let me go back to show you what I mean. When you are scrolling, you will see this section here in green. It is not very clear. This is downloads, this is projects, this is tender notices, and this is frequently asked questions. So if we click on downloads, we will find finance and economic planning, submission of proposals on county fiscal strategy paper 2019. It is the same advert like the one we saw on the newspaper. I can zoom it further so that you are able to see those words. Here on this, they say to access the draft copy of the county fiscal strategy paper, click here, which I will do. This is not a screen touch, so I will use my mouse. And there we are. It is written county. This is a 52-page document, and it is the county government of Wajir. Those 4 sections of the county fiscal strategy paper should be made up of the following parts. One part to explain performance of the county for the last financial year, the previous financial year. Then 2, the projections. How much is the county government of Wajir going to collect from their local sources of revenue? How much are they going to receive from the national government as equitable share? And the priorities. Under priorities, this one is what are they going to prioritize on going forward in 2019-2020, and then the settings. So even without taking a lot of time, let us get into the document. We should get into the document right now. Very well. I can make this document appear bigger like that, so that everyone will see what we are talking about. So the document was prepared by the county executive committee member in charge of finance and economic planning, right from Wajir. It's the CFSP 2019. Now, the document has a table of contents. Let us see if it has. Is there projections? Is there performance, priorities, and settings? So through checking this table of contents, we can see that the document talks about the economy, and I hope they are not talking about the national economy, because that has been covered by the national treasury. So the document has a fiscal policy budget framework. It talks about medium-term expenditure framework, where they're talking about spending priorities. They are talking about resource envelope, of course, the total amount of resources available. They are talking about medium-term expenditure. This medium-term expenditure estimates, that is how much are they going to spend next year and the 3 years to come. Then they are talking about baseline settings. How much would they, on settings they will talk about how much would they spend on each sector, and the finalization of spending plans. Details of sector priorities. So basically we have seen they might be talking about priorities, so I will tick priorities. Sector settings, they have mentioned something on sector settings. They are talking about spending the medium term. That is the medium term expenditure framework, that's projections. Let's see, are they talking about performance? We will see. So we move on and see what's in this document. The section 117 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012, which requires all counties to produce the county fiscal strategy paper and make sure it is tabled at the county assembly on 28th of February every year. So it is going to be tabled in the next 4 days. if it has not been tabled. All counties are required to table this important document. In Wajir County, the business environment has not fully recovered from the electioneering, and that's what they are saying, and post-election aftermath. There was significant delay in disbursement of funds in the financial year 2017-18, as well as current financial year 2018-2019, which they're talking about that in Wajir County, business environment has not fully recovered from electioneering and post-election aftermath. I guess they are referring to the fact that their governor had a case which ended up at the Supreme Court and was recently announced, I guess last week, that the governor's election had been upheld. It was not annulled. So now the people of Wajir County have all the time, especially the governor, should now focus more on development because now the election has come to an end. They say that Wajir County received lower than expected rains between the months of October and November and December 2018. However, the rains received were enough to positively impact the agricultural sector. Oh yes, then county specific context. Yes. This is what I've been looking for. The county specific context. What should people know? What should other Kenyans who have never been to Wajir County know about Wajir when they read this document? The county's medium-term expenditure framework for 2019-2021 is predicated on priorities espoused in the governor's manifesto. So it is based on what the governor wants through his manifesto. That is basically what we are going to look at. And the manifesto was incorporated in the Wajir County CIDP 2018-2022, and the priorities of the governor of Wajir are as follows. There are many, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7. One is enhanced food security. 2, improved access to universal health care. I think they are a copy of the Big Four agenda. Enhanced cohesion and integration through equity and inclusivity for all, improve road, transport, energy, communication infrastructure, improve early childhood education and youth, women, marginalized groups empowerment, improve access to adequate potable water, and ensure clean and safe environment. Promote clean energy by tapping into solar energy and wind energy. In order for Wajir County to improve access to universal healthcare coverage, what are they going to do? According to the county fiscal strategy paper, the draft of 2019, they say that they are going to equip Wajir Referral Hospital to level 5 standards. That is 1. 2, they are going to strengthen emergency services and the referral system to provide 24 hours referral services. And they want to provide scholarships for health training for all cadres, as well as enhanced capacity development of technical staff. So they would do more capacity building of medical staff or people working in the health sector. They want to strengthen monitoring and evaluation, strengthen community health. Are they doing anything really to provide universal healthcare coverage? Is there anything they will do, for example, to make sure that more people in Wajir County register with the National Hospital Insurance Fund? There's nothing mentioned in the county fiscal strategy paper. They also want to strengthen health education and promotion system. So let us start right from performance. How did the county government perform? In 2017-2018, which is the previous financial year, Wajir County government had a final supplementary budget of 9.6 billion, which was made up of some 5.6 billion and 3.67 billion for the current and development expenditure respectively. So the county expected to receive some 8.1 billion shillings as equitable share, and then 661 million as conditional grants, and the Wajir County government promised to raise 150 million here. So they will use county sales, parking fees, single business permits. They wanted to raise 150 million from own source of revenue. They had a balance brought forward in accounting cash balance from, this is balance brought forward of 372 million. That is the money they failed to spend the previous year, 2016, 2017. In terms of revenue, during that year, the county received 8.1 billion as promised from equitable share. Then the 530 was received as conditional grants instead of 661 million. So they received 530. So sometimes these conditional grants, not all of them are sent as promised in the documents. Then they raised 56 million. So they had a target of raising 150 million here. They ended up raising 56 million. That was a huge underperformance. They just collected around 25% of what they had promised to collect. And this is one of the biggest challenges we have in the counties. They promised to raise a lot of money, like now Wajir County promised to raise 150 million, but they end up just raising 56 million, which means that they had they were over-ambitious in terms of setting the projections. How did they spend? They spent 5.5 on recurrent, that's payment of salaries, operations and maintenance, and other things. Then on development, they spent 842 million. So they did not even get to even 1 billion. And their target was to spend 3.6 billion, or 39%. So they ended up just spending less than even 1 billion, which was 842.5 million. So they failed even to spend 1 billion, sorry. So the expenditure excluded pending bills, yani sasa ukisema pending bills, hii ni ile pesa mahali unapata the entrepreneurs supplied goods and services but they were never paid from the previous year, and that was pegged at 2.4 billion. Vile unaona hiyo fika hapo. Kwa hivyo kuna pending bills all over the country, na hiyo for me it's kind of like a debt. So in the medium term, government is forecasting a balanced budget. Hence there will be no need for debt financing. Yani wanamaanisha kwamba mwaka ambao unakuja na miaka mitatu ifuatayo, Wajir County government haioni kama itaomba madeni kutoka kwa mabenki na mahali kwingine. So wao wanasema wata raise ile pesa ambao watatumia. Actual performance against budget. So as we have seen, the absorption of budget is very low, from 3.9 billion, which was projected, which was around 39% of the total budget, to just 800 million is a big underperformance in development budget, a huge underperformance. We will also see what they did in their first quarter later on. So basically, the underperformance in local revenue generation is a big danger to service delivery at the counties. Yani there is no way unaweza fanya vibaya katika kukusanya ushuru ya county ambayo inaitwa own source of revenue, alafu expect kwamba utafikisha service delivery vile inahitajika. So the local own, you can even see here, they even know that own source of revenue performed poorly in Wajir County. I have been to Wajir County before, and I know it's a county which has many opportunities despite being in a semi-arid area. Hii county ikienda vizuri, ikikuwa red vizuri na viongozi wao, they can go far. I once flew to Wajir for some assignment. It's a big county in the northeastern. So the county's budget absorption on development fought in that year was not impressive at all. So there's a big problem. The absorption for the budget was 6.4 billion, where 5.5 was recurrent, and 842 million was for development, which was just 13% of the expected amount. So still there's a problem. Still, even if they performed poorly, they raised only 13% of own source of revenue in 2017-18. Still, in the first half of 2018-19, they recorded a gross underperformance of own source of revenue, OSR, own source of revenue. Yani wakaperform mbaya sana in the first half. They are continuously performing poorly. The revenue shortfall has mainly been occasioned by weak legal framework to support activation of all revenue streams. Ati kwa sababu all revenue streams have not been activated, that's why they are performing poorly. Okay. This is one of the most important thing I see Wajir County doing, being in a semi-arid area. The Wajir, this is Wachwasco. Where? What is this? Wachwasco. The Wachwasco will benefit from 1 billion grant for water and sanitation from the World Bank through the national government. I think one of the things which makes me to respect and always go back to Wajir County, even if not physically, but by looking at the documents, their financial documents, is this Wajir Water and Sewerage Company, the Wachwasco. The Wachwasco is a company just like the Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company, but it is financed largely. They have a lot of support from government. The last time I did an analysis for this county, they were financing their water and sewerage company. They were providing resources for this company, and now you see it is going to benefit from the 1 billion grant for water and sanitation from the World Bank through the national government. This is good news. This is good news for the people of Wajir. This should be encouraged. The county government should continuously support the provision of water to these people, clean piped water. They should be encouraged. The company, though, they say has capacity constraints, which means they cannot be able to supply water to the entire county. But this is good, good step. That is good step. Very good. The county government continues to face. These are some of the risks that they are likely to face. For example, they continue to face potential litigation on the pending bills, because you find that vendors or contractors have provided their services or their goods, and now they want to be paid. So that's a risk to implementation of the year 2019 budget. And one of the mitigation measures that they are saying is that the county will continue to ensure full compliance with contractual agreements and with statutory requirements. They should say something more direct, like the county will minimize the amount which is pushed forward as pending bills. That is more direct. The total resource on the head. That is in 2019-2020. This is now projection section for 2019-2020 and the medium term. They foresee that in 2019-2020, Wajir County government will be having a budget of 9.5 billion. I think this is an increase from 9.2. And I am interested in knowing how much will they raise from own sources of revenue going forward. Now considering that they can only raise 13% of the total of 150. Okay, in 2020 they expect that is 2020-21, they expect to have a budget of 9.7 billion. It's only up. Sky's the limit. Then they expect to have a 10 billion in 2021-2022. Okay, on source of revenue, very important. This is what I've been looking for. Finally, I've found it. On source of revenue, they promised to raise 150 million last time, but they raised only 56 million. Let us see now, what are they projecting? On source of revenue are also expected to triple in the medium term. Based on what? Based on the current status. However, so you see, if you have 50 million, if you triple it, it will be 150. Are they going to say that they will raise 150 million in the medium term? However, the county intends in the medium term to strengthen revenue through automation, enhancing enforcement capacity, and developing registration for the various revenue streams. So they have said, they have promised. Now the people of Wajir, listen. If you are listening or if you are watching this video and you are from Wajir, this is the point where you need to listen carefully. The county has promised that they will improve their performance in the only source of revenue collection by making sure they automate the system, by enhancing enforcement capacity. Hapa wataachiri watu wengi wa kukusanya ushuru, wale wa kukimbizana na watu, and they will develop registration for the of course for the other revenue streams which are not covered. The county government will strive to ensure that the budget is balanced. Okay, they want to have a balanced budget, of course, and they want to at least spend that 4% on development in those medium term, in those 3 years, 2019, 2020, 2021. Very well. Expenditure ceilings are based on county priorities extracted from CIDP 2018-2022. Yeah, it's okay. Our budget's estimates should be based on county planning documents like the ADP and the CIDP, which is a good practice. If truly they went into these two documents, that would be a good idea. Madeni lazima, nilikwambia lazima, hata wakikuwa na balanced budget, lazima kuna mahali fulani watasahau watuambie madeni yao. Haya, ni hapa tu. Madeni yao ndio haya. Wacha ni sumu ikuwe clear. Haya, county debt shall be maintained at sustainable level as approved by the by who approves this county assembly. Now the county debts are limited to the commitments carried forward from 2017-2018 of 2.6 billion. So madeni, county debts, yani lazima kukuwe na madeni somewhere. Wajir County has made commitments of 2.6 billion. How ni madeni tu? It is lower than Nairobi's 58 billion. So, and wrong outstanding debts. So there is what we call, so I think this is in terms of pending bills, and this is now wrong term. The wrong term debts, like wrong outstanding debts of 700 million. The 2.6 billion was budgeted for in 2018-2019 and shall be settled by the close of the financial year. So wanataka tu kulipa hayo madeni kwa mpiko mara moja. By end of this, by July this year 2018 or this 2019, by July 2019 wamesema kwamba watakuwa wamelipa madeni yao ya 2.6 billion by the end of the financial year. We will see.